Okay, this is question number 7. This is about the piece of wire and the waves. So the question is, given the piece of wire is 1.5 meters long and the speed of the wave is 420 meters per second, which of the frequencies generate a standing wave? So the first thing to realize is that a standing wave happens when the bits of the wave which are not moving coincide with the fixed points. So if you look at that little wave there, the bits that stay on the axis, the line that I've drawn, the horizontal line, are the bits that, if those coincide with the fixed points, so the ends of our piece of wire in this example, then happy days, you will have a standing wave. Now the wavelength of a wave is measured from the point where the wave starts going up to the point where it crosses the axis, again going up. And so a standing wave happens when half the wavelength fits exactly into the fixed points that we're given. Okay, so hopefully that all makes sense. Then if we start looking at the things that we need to calculate, the frequency of a wave is the speed divided by the wavelength. And again, if we look at that in units, hertz is just per second. The unit for that is just per second. So that's the number of times that a thing happens in a second. Speed we know is measured in meters per second, and wavelength we can measure in meters because it's just a distance. So that all makes sense, right? Because you got per second equals meters per second divided by meters. So the meters cancel out and you end up with per seconds. So if we rearrange that, we get wavelength equals speed divided by frequency. We've been given the speed, we've been given a series of frequencies. What we need to work out is whether half the wavelength fits exactly in our 1.5 meters. So we calculate the wavelength for each frequency, and if half the wavelength divides into 1.5 exactly, then a standing wave happens. So if we go through those, 420 divided by 140 equals 3. 1.5, which is the length that we've got, the distance between the two fixed points, divided by 3 divided by 2, equals 1, right? Because 3 divided by 2 is 1.5, 1.5 divided by 1.5 equals 1. So happy days, that will create a standing wave. B, 420 divided by 280, so 420 is the speed, remember, and that's one of the constants that they gave us, divided by 280 equals 1.5. This is sounding positive, so 1.5 divided by 1.5 divided by 2 is just 2. 2.0, so again, standing wave occurs. 420 divided by itself is 1. 1.5 divided by 1 divided by 2 equals 3. So again, 3.0, happy day, standing wave. D, frequency now is 580. So 420 divided by 580 equals 0.72. 1.5 divided by 0.72 divided by 2 equals 4.14. That's not a round number, therefore standing wave will not occur. And just to be sure, if we check on E, 420 divided by 700 equals 0.6. 1.5 divided by 0.6 divided by 2 is 5.0, so standing wave occurs. So that's how we work out whether a standing wave will happen at various different frequencies.